Hello guys, Keto Phoenix here and welcome back to another one of my videos. If you're new here, basically my channel is just mostly about my journey on the ketogenic diet. I've gotten more into some fitness. I am actually running. I did a couch to 5K. I am currently training for a 10K. I'm actually almost there. For my training, I am running up to 5 miles now, so I'm getting really close to that 10K mark. And then from there, half marathon, and who knows, maybe even beyond that, I don't know. If you're new here and that sounds interesting to you, then please stick around. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, share my videos. That helps me out a lot. That's a great way to support me and it doesn't cost anything to do that. Let's get into the video. Today I wanted to talk about the history of keto. I'm a firm believer that when you're going to do anything, whether that involves something for your body or any type of training, it helps to understand the history of it. And that goes for anything in life, right? Like it helps to understand the history of things. You know, a question that I know a lot of people are asking themselves when they watch other influencers on YouTube and other places that do keto and then go off keto and then go back on keto. And, you know, it seems kind of a struggle. You know, you can find yourself asking, why do these people continue to do it? If it's so hard, if it's not sustainable, why continue doing it? And that's because keto goes far beyond just weight loss. And so I wanted to talk about the history of it a little bit and get into that in depth with that a little bit. Some people may know and some people might not know, but keto has, yes, actually turned into quite a bit of a fad diet. You know, just about everybody knows about keto and by this point, right? You'll even like hear it in like movies and stuff like that now. But originally, that was not the purpose of the ketogenic diet. It was not supposed to be for weight loss in the beginning at all. In fact, it was used to treat epilepsy. First off, epilepsy is something that, you know, physicians and doctors have been trying to figure out forever. We're talking like, you know, 5000 BC, right? The Greek physicians, the Indian physicians, they all studied epilepsy in like massive detail, right? Trying to figure it out. So the first modern study happened in 1911, where doctors were looking into a way to help epilepsy with fasting. They wanted to try fasting as a way to cure epilepsy. At this time, they were using, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna mess up some of these words. I have my notes here, but like I'm going to mess them up. So feel free to laugh if I totally butcher it, because I guarantee you when I go back and edit this video, I'm gonna be laughing my buns off. So feel free to join me. But anyways, they did a study in 1911 in France using fasting to try to cure epilepsy. And at the time, they were using potassium bromide as a way to try to treat epileptics. But they found that in the patients that were taking this, that it was slowing their mental capabilities. So they took 20 patients and they had them follow a low-calorie vegetarian food plan, and they combined that with fasting. Now, they found 2 out of the 20 patients did splendidly. They were able to follow the diet. They were able to, you know, do everything, and it was great. Everybody else, that there was a huge improvement, but they were having a hard time staying with the diet. So it kind of made some inconsistencies there. They did find that the effects were still, even with the inconsistencies and their inability to kind of stick to the diet, they did find in their results that the effects were better than when they were taking the potassium bromide. In the early 20th century, an American named Bernard McFadden, he popularized the idea of fasting as a means of restoring health. And in fact, his student, osteopath, said that wrong, Hugh Conklin introduced fasting as a treatment method for controlling epilepsy. So he proposed that epileptic seizures were caused by a toxin secreted in the intestine, and suggested that fasting anywhere from 18 to 25 days could cause the toxins to dissipate. What he did is he put his patients on basically a water diet. He reported that his patients on the water diet, 90% of the children were cured, 50% of the adults were cured. In 1912, Dr. McMurray, he started implementing and messing around with treating, patients with fasting. And so he kind of experimented, foods here and there, right? And then in 1916, he reported to the New York Medical Journal that he had successfully treated his epileptic patients by having them follow a diet that was free of starch and sugars. In 1921, you meet endocrinologist Russell Wilder. Now, he was the first person to actually use the term ketogenic diet, okay? So he basically coined it. And he had noticed through his observations that the diet reduced the frequency and intensity of seizures in his subjects that followed the ketogenic diet. He had noted that 3 water-soluble compounds, and I'm going to try to say these, and I'm going to mess them up, and I'm apologizing beforehand. You can insert laugh here. Anyways, he noted that 3 water-soluble compounds, which were acetone, B-hydrobyrite, and I'm putting the word right there. He noticed that all 3 of these, which are together called ketone bodies, he had noticed that these were produced by the liver when in the results of starvation, or if they followed a diet that was rich in fat and low in carbohydrates. Even further research and studies were done. And in the 1960s, this showed that more ketones are produced by medium chain triglycerides, which is basically MCT oil. It's a really good oil to put in like drinks and things like that. It's supposed to really help on the diet. And if that's something that maybe you guys would be interested in doing with me, maybe we can make that a September challenge or something like so. For the whole month of September, we can start taking. Actually, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. And I'll put that in my Facebook page, which, by the way, I'll put a link in the description. I did start a Facebook page. Do a challenge starting September 1st, where we're going to start taking a little bit of MCT oil, and you can put that in your coffee, put it in a different drink, maybe mix it in a food. I'll get more details for you guys, and I'll put that on my Facebook on how we want to do that. But we'll take a little bit of MCT oil every single day in the month of September, and let's see what happens. Let's get back into this. In the 1960s, it showed that more ketones are produced by MCT oils per unit of energy because they are transported quickly to the liver via the hepatic portal vein as opposed to the lymphatic system, right? In 1971, Peter Huttenlock devised a ketogenic diet where 60% of calories came from MCT oil, which also allowed more protein and carbohydrates to be included in there. And he found that a lot of people could sustain that better, and so therefore had better results. Also in the 1970s, you meet Dr. Atkins, which a lot of people probably know Atkins from the Atkins diet, right? And he popularized his low carb diet for weight loss through the Atkins diet. And then he began that with a very strict 2 weeks ketogenic phase. So, and then from there, over the years, the ketogenic diet became more and more and more of a fad diet, right? And then in the last like 10 years, it became very popularized. You'd see it all over the internet, right? Social media was just blowing up with it. A lot of actors and actresses were talking about it on their pages and stuff. And so it kind of just blew up and then just became this giant weight loss thing. And it has a lot of added benefits. Yes, weight loss is one of them, but I think what has a lot of people, like myself included, continuing to go back to the ketogenic diet, even though, yes, it's hard, and yet, even though, yes, we struggle some, you've got to understand, I've tried other diets. I've tried low calorie, I've tried weight loss pills, I've tried water diets, I've tried so many diets out there. But keto is the only thing that I have done that has actually made my body feel amazing, right? Like I can't even express how I feel. It's just, it's like a new me. I have higher energy. I think clearer. I sleep better. Like I've actually suffered my whole life with insomnia, right? Like I have a very active brain, and I know I've touched on this a little bit in other videos, but my brain is constantly moving, constantly going. And I find that when I'm on the keto diet and I'm fat adapted and stuff, I'm sleeping really well. I can just, it's like I hit the pillow when I'm out, right? Like my husband's retired military, so he's used to sleeping super easy in any place, any location, any spot, right? His body's just trained. You know what? You need to sleep, so sleep. But lately, I've been asleep before him, which I didn't think was possible. I see the same thing when I'm running. If I try to eat carbs and then run, I feel horrible. My run is awful. My stomach hurts. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I have headaches, brain fog. My eyes feel weird. It's horrible. But when I'm on the ketogenic diet, I'm just out there running, and I'm just like, woo, this is great, right? In my brain. And then you take the ketogenic diet with the running, which is something that I've just recently combined in the past like 13 weeks. And you guys, it's like, it's amazing. Both of them together, whoo, you get the high from running, right? All those endorphins released from running. You add that to just feeling good from the ketogenic diet, right? Your body's feeling healthier. You've got a clean gut. And so you combine the both of those, and it's just like, whoo, it's powerful. And yes, the ketogenic diet in theory is hard. Every diet is hard. You know, I mean, you go on and you watch anybody, and they're going to tell you that the calorie restricting is easier than keto. You're going to say keto is easier than the calorie restriction. You can say low carb is easier than both. It's either or. In my opinion, it depends on the person, right? Like there's a lot of people on YouTube that have been successful with their diet. But I also want you guys to understand that I struggle too. Everybody struggles. You know, the last thing I want is someone on here watching me and getting discouraged because I'm this person who's been on keto for, you know, so many years and I've never once cheated, and then feel bad about themselves or feel like they're doing something wrong, right? No, it's not about that. It's about supporting each other. The ketogenic diet goes far beyond just weight loss. It has so many health benefits. I have had 7 miscarriages. I had my first baby was a miscarriage. My second is my daughter. She just turned 19 yesterday, and doctors can't tell me why she survived when my other one didn't, but she was resilient, and we praise God for that. I had 6 miscarriages after that. And then I went on all of these medications, all of these pills that did not make me feel wonderful. But 10 years later, I was able to have my middle child, and he's going to be 9. But that was all with all these pills and stuff. And by the time I had him, I was over 200 pounds. And then I didn't want to go back on the pills. So my husband and I accepted that we just weren't going to have any more kids, that the 2 that we had, that was it. You know, we weren't going to have any more. And then, like I said in my previous video, that's when I found the ketogenic diet, and I started, because I really wanted to lose weight. I got on that, and the next thing you know, I'm pregnant with my 3rd son. We were not planning on that. We were not planning on having any more kids. Didn't think it was even possible to have any more kids. And I was pregnant with him. I had lost a bunch of weight. and the ketogenic diet, it kind of just fixed my body. And I mean, so I'm living proof right here that keto goes beyond weight loss, and that's why I try my best to stick with it. And yes, it can be hard because giving up sugar and the things that you love is hard. And I have my things, like I love pizza. I am like obsessed with pizza, like stuffed crust pizza and stuff. And I have tried so many different keto versions of pizza, and so far nothing has just done it for me. But I'm gonna keep trying, and I'm gonna keep sharing it on this channel, and hopefully I'll find a pizza that I like. If anybody knows of a recipe, you can go ahead and link it down in the comments below, and I'll give it a try. That's why I stick with keto, not just for the weight loss aspect, but because it genuinely makes me feel good. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I will see you guys in my next video.